Eagles Entertainment.
Welcome, Eagles everywhere, to the Eagles Insider Podcast presented by Lincoln Financial Group. I'm Eagles Insider Dave Spadaro at the NovaCare Complex. How are you, everybody? Training camp's here. I know you've taken a look at everything. You're studying Jalen Hurts. You're wondering about the injury to Devontae Smith. Don't be concerned. Eagles announcing that he is week to week with a knee injury, not expected to be serious, certainly not expected to bleed at all into the regular season. Smith has been extremely impressive since he was the Eagles' first-round draft pick back in the spring, and he had a really good first almost full week of practice before suffering the injury. So Eagles erring on the side of caution here. None of the injuries that they have sustained, Brandon Brooks, Isaac Seumalo, none of them expected to linger anywhere close to the regular season. So take a deep breath there. We are excited to get things rolling here. A big week here with the Philadelphia Eagles is the pads going on Tuesday. Harold Carmichael goes into the Pro Football Hall of Fame on Saturday. And then Sunday, we welcome you all to Lincoln Financial Field, the first of two open to the public practices. Tickets just $10. All proceeds going to the Eagles Autism Foundation. Make sure that you join us on Sunday. If you can't make it then, how about August 22nd at Lincoln Financial Field? Practice begins both evenings at 7 p.m. All right, so we've got a loaded, and I mean loaded, Eagles Insider Podcast for you. We're going to meet with some players. I mean, that's kind of what we're going to do throughout the training camp period so you can get to know these players. How about the punter? Name the Eagles punter. Well, his name is Arryn Siposs, and he comes from a long line of Australian rules football players trying to make it in the NFL. He's the only punter here. So the Eagles obviously like him very much. We'll get into his story in just a bit. Also, on the defensive side of the ball, safety Anthony Harris here after his time in Minnesota. He's here to kind of run the deep part of the Eagles secondary, and he's a really interesting guy. You're going to enjoy the interview with him. And then Miles Sanders in for his third season with the Eagles, and we'll talk about his expectations in 2021. Let's begin the podcast with head coach Nick Sirianni. Now, it's kind of like a hallowed part of the NovaCare Complex, the head coach's office. And since the days of Andy Reid, and then Chip Kelly, and then Doug Peterson, now it's Nick Sirianni. Each coach has a different spin on that office and what they feel is really important to the office. That's part of the conversation that Nick and I had just after training camp began. New head coach, new challenges, very excited for the opportunity, one-on-one and exclusive with head coach Nick Sirianni. What was it like for you to have your wife, your kids, your father, your brother here, to see you start this training camp?
Yeah, that they're all, I guess that's comfort, right? Because they're always there, right? And so I have a very supportive family, very supportive wife and family and parents and brother. And so it's just like, that's the way it's supposed to be, because they're always there. So I know how blessed I am that they are always there. I know that that's not the case for everybody, but it was like, that's just the way it's supposed to be. My dad was at training camp when we were in San Diego. They would drive out from New York. Drive. You heard me?
Amazing.
Drive.
Yeah.
And
did they stop? Is it the kind of family that will like stop for a cup of coffee or like stop for me or stop for 2 nights? Or they're like, they're just go.
It's been a while since I've been in the car with my mom and dad. I don't know what their schedule is anymore, but they like to drive. They like to go to football stuff. So, but yeah, it was just, it's great to see them out at practice, even though, with the COVID protocols, we're not able to see them after practice, but it is nice. Like, I saw my son walking with my wife down to the family tent, and I know I could feel like he wanted to say hi. So I stopped what I was doing and I made it a point to say, "Hey, Jacob." He looked at me, and we do the thing we do before games. I'll look in the stands, we'll hit the chest, and we'll go one finger in the air. And so that was kind of cool. I think I looked at him, we did it. He smiled, and it made my day. I know that. I don't know if it made Jacob's day.
Yeah, it was very cool. Like your youngest was in the stroller going da 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 da, and then your oldest was actually like really tuned into your press conference. Any feedback?
I think he was sitting next to Jeff McClain, like with a notepad. And like he was like, "Oh, okay." No, I was Yeah, that was funny, wasn't it?
Any feedback on your performance? Did he tell you?
He didn't tell me. He didn't tell me. I know I had to focus because I wanted to look over it, but I remember one interview in Indy, like Dom's a great security guard. He kept him back a little bit because in Indy they were behind me one time, and I'm giving the interview, and Jacob smacked me in the butt, and I'm like, who's holding back? So he's a little bit more mature and well behaved, and Dom's a great security guard. But no, it was cool just to see them there. Those are priceless moments that you won't forget. Especially, I think somebody caught it on camera. It was in a couple family texts that were going around yesterday, so we all had a good laugh about it. And I think that'll be something you show Miles doing on his graduation day or something like that. Right?
How's it going so far? How have you managed, being all these responsibilities of being a head coach?
I've talked about this a lot. Like every step you make, whether it's from Division III football to Division II football to NFL, there's always a change, right? And whether it's from a quality control to a position coach to a coordinator to a head coach, there's a change. And you have more responsibilities, different responsibilities, but you can't stop doing what got you there in the first place, right? So now you just can't, right? If my expertise was quarterbacks and wide receivers, I got to coach them like I was coaching them when I was a position coach. And my expertise is offense. I got to coach that offense like I was doing it when I was the coordinator, right? So it's just more hats to wear, a little bit busier, and you got to learn to delegate and to trust the people that you trusted enough to hire. And for that, I know I can do that because Shane and Aaron and Kevin and Brian, we got just great coaches right there. So I'm able to wear those many hats because of the great coaches that we have here.
What would you like to accomplish in training camp when this is over and we're getting ready? Well, we're on the airplane to Atlanta. I mean, you look back at training camp. What will constitute a successful camp?
Yeah, I think our goals that we set in front of the team, our goals were to build team chemistry, connect. Right. And there's many different ways that happens. Our goal was to compete. Right. So it was to compete every day. There really wasn't more to that than just compete in everything that we do. Our next goal was to get in great football shape. And that's a form of accountability. Yeah.
Nick, what is a successful what do you want the quarterback to do in your system? Whoever the quarterback is, what does he have to do?
He's got to get you out. He's got to, first of all, be a good decision maker with the football, right? Know where to go with the football. Be so aware of the coverages. We have progression reads, we have coverage-based reads. And when it's coverage-based reads, be so in tune with what the coverage is that he knows where to go with the football, right? And he gets the ball out of his hands when he can. And then, just be able to make plays with his feet. And just run the show out there. Get us in and out of plays, but don't do too much. But get us in and out of plays when you see it. And that's our job to train them to do that. But run the show, know the offense, and throw the ball accurately.
Do you feel the players have responded to your energy, your style, the mantras that you have, the commitments that you have?
Someone asked me that the other day, and I just said, everything that I'm saying is they know it's true. The players buying in, everything I'm saying, they know it's true. Like yesterday, we talked about how important it is to review game tape and review practice tape. It's so important to the development of you as a player. Like they know it's nothing. Hey, you got to compete. Well, yeah, that's true. It's just about how you bring these things with the energy you do bring them. And I just think you always want to tell the guy what we're doing. You just want to let them know that you have a reason for what you're doing. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? When you can give guys why, the reason why, I find buy-in is just huge, right? Because they take responsibility for it and accountability for it, and they understand. Like so many times when I grew up, it was like, you do this. Why? Because I'm the head coach. Well, yeah, it's a different time. And it's just, you do this. Why? And here's why. Because it is a greater form of learning. And then how we're going to do it. So it's everything that we do with our 5 core values or anything that we're so-and-so trying to get them to buy in. We're always going to tell them what it is, what we're trying to get them to buy into, why it's important, and how we're going to do it. And I just think that process right there, those three things, really bring it to life, and you can get guys to do what you want to do. And again, like I said, it's not stuff that's off the wall. If I was saying off the wall stuff and trying to get them to buy in, I could understand. It's stuff they know is true, you know?
Last two questions. You jumped right in first practice, 11 on 11 right away. Boom, like really, really compete. No easing in. Why?
Yeah, it's the only way I know how to do it in practice, right? You could say we eased in as far as red zone to save the guy's leg, but as far as the competitiveness, like when you study everybody and you look at the good teams you've been on, they practice the hardest, they practice the best, right? And they practice hard, right? And so we want to set that stage right from the beginning of how important practice is. If we're truly going to be a team that believes in you have to make marginal gains each day and get better each day, then you got to practice hard. You got to review tape hard. You got to meet hard. You get everything we do is at full speed and hard because that's how you get better, right? And there's time for walkthrough, and there's a time to but you got to walk through hard, right? And that can be mental. Doing stuff hard sometimes mental, but when we're out in that practice field, we're going, and there's a time to cut it back, and I'll let them know when, but we're not there yet.
I wonder what it was like for you watching the tape of your first practice. How hard were you on what you saw? How hard were you on yourself?
I think if core value number 3 is accountability, it always starts with yourself. And what did you do? How are you going to make yourself better from what happened at practice yesterday? And what did you do well? Right. And so that's always that. And that's just self-awareness and taking ego out of it. And like, because sometimes it's like, man, I really screwed that up. That was bad. And you know what? That you don't want that to happen too much, but that's how you get better, right? That's how you get better every single day is by evaluating yourself, evaluating the team. And so if I want the players to hold themselves accountable and know, hey, I need to make this correction, I got to do it. You lead by example. And that's kind of how yesterday went is I looked at myself and then we held the players accountable and we held ourselves accountable first.
Nick attacks everything with so much gusto, doesn't he? Boy, that enthusiasm is infectious. On the defensive side of the ball, an injection of new blood for the Eagles. Part of the philosophy in the offseason as they bring some young players along was to add veterans to teach what Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator, wants for this group in 2021. And with that in mind, the Eagles bringing in the likes of Eric Wilson at linebacker, Ryan Kerrigan as a pass rusher, Steven Nelson at the cornerback position. We heard from him last week on the Eagles Insider podcast. And then what about safety Anthony Harris? Well, in 2019, you'll remember he had 6 interceptions in the regular season, another interception in the postseason, and he was one of the great ball-hawking defensive backs in the league. 2020, the numbers went down. Minnesota's defense struggling up front. And when it struggles up front, the guys in the back end just don't have an opportunity to get their hands on the football. Well, Harris expects to get his hands on the football in this defense, and he's just one of those players you just like. Great personality, a leader, and someone who really is enjoying his time in Philadelphia. All of those things are among the topics we're talking about here with Anthony Harris, Eagles safety, one-on-one. Our coverage of the Philadelphia Eagles training camp 2021 continues. I'm Eagles Insider Dave Spadaro with Eagles safety Anthony Harris. Good to see you in person. How's camp going?
It's going well. It feels good to get back on the field, meet up with the teammates, starting to get into, defensive things, working together, and really just competing with the offense. That competitive aspect, being able to get out in the field has been great.
Do you like training camp?
Yeah, you spend all season just working on your individual game. You do some things with meeting in terms of, what you want to do as a defense and what your goals are as a team. So to be able to get on the field with each other and, rep those things out and compete every day and just strive and get to know the guys in the locker room and the coaches, that's what it's really all about, that football aspect.
At what point, Anthony, do you feel like you kind of get a sense of what this defense is going to be all about? Like, is it regular season? Is it 3 games into the regular season?
Well, I think, it changes throughout the season, what you want to get done, what the goal is, the style of the defense, and what we really want to get done. But it's really just being physical, playing with a lot of intensity. Those things, will be consistent, and those are things that you really focus on. Other than that, you listen to the coaching tips and the schemes and stuff that the coaches want you to do, and then you just really go play with a lot of intensity and a lot of energy.
For these fans who do not know Jonathan Gannon, we all rave about him. Your thoughts on him and what does he do really well as a defensive coordinator?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun these past couple of days. Really just getting into meetings with him, him sharing his ideas on what we want to get done on the field, and then just going out there and playing with it. And then, getting that reassurance of, hey, you did it right, or you're just right there, or we got to do this a little bit better. I just think that communication that we're getting from him and then that energy of what we want to get done in terms of disrupting the ball, you're starting to see it a little bit on the field.
Take us inside your day. What time do you get up? What time do you what do you do from the time you wake up until the time your head hits the pillow?
Yeah, I wake up about 6 o'clock.
After a good night's sleep?
After a good night's sleep,
Okay.
yep. I wake up about 6 o'clock. Sometimes I'll get a shake in the morning, add different stuff in there, whether it's berries, peppers, different stuff for my health and
Peppers?
breakfast. Yeah.
What is that for?
Bell peppers, antioxidants.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
That's not good for me. I gotta figure that out. Go ahead. I'm learning here.
I'm
Go
trying
ahead.
to learn from Eric Wilson a little bit. He's a big health guy.
Oh,
as
is he
well.
really? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Keep going. Okay.
So usually do that, then try to get over here to the facility by 7 o'clock, 7:15. And then from there, it's, a little bit more breakfast, something a little bit more heavier, and then use is, weight room or starting to get prep ready for practice.
So you actually will pump weights before just to loosen up, or it's not heavy lifting at this point, right?
No, it's just little fluid things, maintenance, it's a physical game. So, you want to make sure, you're standing there, you're moving a little bit weights, and you're keeping that strength and weight and everything where it's supposed to be.
And the meetings are just reviewing what you've done on the field, more install. Is that still in the fun category, Anthony?
Oh, yeah. For me, it's just always about learning. The coaches, they're professionals. They've been around the game a long time. So to spend time with them and break down and dissect your game in the unit and just helping yourself being able to improve, that's the fun aspect of just trying to get better each day and then going out and competing to try to get those results.
And what time do you get out of here at night?
I've been getting home around like 8:30.
And then what do you do?
By then, his day is usually done. We finish up meetings, have a late snack. I may take a couple minutes to, listen to a podcast or something, kind of relax the mind a little bit, then get ready to go to sleep.
Are you a political podcast guy? Are you a wellness podcast guy? Are you an entertainment Are you a relationship podcast guy? What kind of stuff? Entertainment, gossip. What kind of stuff you listening to?
No, I'm just usually listening to stuff that's going to better me. Stuff about mental health, stuff about diet. Believe strong mindset, mastering different crafts and what that mindset look like. So it's really all just about, building up that mental aspect in different areas of my life, whether it's relationships, whether it's my faith or whatever that may be.
I would imagine that having the strong mindset has really been a positive for you in your career. You weren't drafted, took the long road, you've made a great career for yourself. You're in a situation now where I would imagine you're thinking, I have to prove myself to the rest of the league. Am I on the right track here?
Yeah, so that's what it's always about, just getting better, improving yourself. So from that aspect of having a strong mindset, it doesn't matter where you are. Just because you're there, you don't have to stay there. So with that mindset, it's just always about trying to be a better person, trying to be a better player, always looking to improve and, always thinking that there's room to grow and trying to find that.
How much of this season is important to you? How is it to become, again, well-known in this game, to be established as one of the best in the game? How important is 2021 for you?
For me, it's important, not just as an individual, being part of something bigger than just myself. So, that's going out, winning a lot of games as a team, being a great organization. And ultimately, in order for that to happen, I have to do what I have to do in terms of being a good contributor. So that's not just being accountable for myself, but holding my teammates accountable, making sure my teammates are holding me accountable and my coaches as well. So it's really just about bettering myself, but bettering everybody around me at the same time.
Anthony Harris, thanks so much for joining me. Great to see you face. Miles Sanders has been one of the NFL's best big play running backs in his first 2 seasons. He wants more than that, though. He wants to be just terrific in everything he does. And so Miles coming into camp in great shape after a really fun offseason. We talked about that. Miles Sanders engaging, enthralling, and he is so excited to get things rolling in this Eagles offense in a variety of ways. How many ways can Miles Sanders touch the football? Well, let's see what he has in mind as we discuss his role in this Eagles offense. He's in his third year now. Wow, grizzled veteran Miles Sanders, Eagles running back, joins me, Eagles insider Dave Spadaro, as we continue our coverage of the Philadelphia Eagles 2021 training camp here at the NovaCare Complex. What's up, old? No, I'm just kidding.
Don't do that to me, man.
How does it feel 3 years in?
It feels good. Humbly, I don't think I'm a vet yet. I feel like I'm still proving myself on the team to this new coaching staff, but it's going fast. I could definitely say that, but it's a blessing. I'm blessed to be a running back in my third year, still healthy and still going. So, I'm just happy to be here.
So let's take a look at the T-shirt here. We got the Nick Sirianni 5 principles here.
Yep.
We got connect. We've got compete, accountability, football IQ, fundamentals. Does that mean something to you?
Yeah. Honestly, if you think about it, it's the whole game of football, honestly, especially with the competing, accountability, football IQ, fundamentals, and connecting is just connecting with everybody since the new coaching staff and got a lot of new faces. The team's younger. We still got our OGs. You got Kelsey, you got Brandon Brooks, you got Lane, you got Fletch, you got BG. But no, I love the vibe here. It's a new vibe. The energy's up, as you guys can see in practice. It's very competitive, and I just like what we got going on right now.
Buying into a coach doesn't just happen like that. He's got to earn it, right?
Yes, sir.
And I talked to him about it in his office, and he said, well, if I were coming to players with these crazy ideas, maybe they wouldn't buy in. But as you say, these are all kind of what they already know.
Yeah.
These are already so, I mean, how has it been buying into what Nick and what Shane and what the coaching staff has been selling you?
No, like you said, they're not crazy. This is literally the game of football all in one circle, and then the 1% better. With everybody being new and new faces, just focus on connecting with each other and getting 1% better in practice. Today was much better than yesterday. Yesterday was cool. The energy was good, but it wasn't perfect at all. Everything's new, and everybody's just riding the wave and just connecting with each other.
All right, so let's talk about 2021 and this Eagles running back room. To me, 17 games, you need to have 4 running backs so you can rely on 2 on the practice squad. I mean, one game more doesn't sound like a lot to you. No. But it does seem like a whole lot more to you, 17 versus 16.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. Just more games that matter more, adding that extra game. No, it's going to take a toll on everybody, especially these vets that's going on 10 years. They're going to feel it. It's a long season, and it's not easy playing in this league either. So, but the main thing is being professional and taking care of your body.
Does your responsibility change in this offense? Is the run game different than it was in the years past?
No, it's not different.
Because Stout's still overseeing the run game.
Right.
Yeah.
Stout's still here. Still love that guy. Crazy as can be. But the run game hasn't changed. I think we're emphasizing the run game more, just to balance everything out.
Hey, Miles, one other thing here. Just how much you've grown up in the game of football. From 3 years ago to now, where do you think you've matured the most as a man and as a football player?
As a man, just figuring out just how to be a true pro, taking care of my body way better, having a routine every day, especially being a running back. We take the most toll, I think, out of anybody. We're getting tackled to the ground almost every time we touch the ball. So football-wise, just knowing what I got to do, my football IQ is way better than what I was, coming into the league. You got to be really a smart football player more than athletic, and that's what the league is. Everybody's here for a reason because of their athleticism and ability to play, but what separates people is the mental part.
All right, cool stuff. Hey, man, looking forward to seeing how it goes for you. Great to see you in person.
Sir.
Miles Sanders joins me here as we continue our coverage of the Philadelphia Eagles Training Camp 2021 at the NovaCare Complex. So we've touched on the defense, the offense. How about special teams right now? Why not? The Eagles have a new punter in town. His name is Arryn Siposs. He punted at Auburn after a stint with the Australian Rules Professional League. He played 30 games there, and then following a familiar pipeline to the NFL. Siposs last year spent the season on the Detroit Lions practice squad. Didn't have a chance to kick in the preseason, didn't have a chance to win the job. But having been there for a full year, well, he thinks that experience will pay dividends as he looks to win the Eagles punter job this summer. Here he is, exclusively Arryn Siposs. Do you know who he is? You're going to know after you hear from him right here. Crazy little journey you've had, huh?
Yeah, it's been a crazy little journey. Obviously came over here a few years ago and started out at Auburn University and thoroughly enjoyed my time there. Then obviously had my time in Detroit and it was in a pretty good competition and things obviously didn't work out for me, but I had an experience in terms of playing being on the practice squad the whole year, which was quite beneficial for me being in an NFL setting, and hopefully I can hopefully it all pays off here and can really get after it.
Is it all technique?
I feel like majority of the time it's all technique. Sometimes you got to kind of, throw it out when it matters. Obviously just go out there and just do your job and kick the ball. But a lot of it is to do with technique and making sure that your body's in the right place and everything to be able to execute your job.
How much did you miss? Preseason games, that's like your chance to make the team.
Yeah.
What a bummer last year.
Yeah, I mean it's a different kind of circumstances last year, and who knows whether it would have benefited me or not. I have no idea, but I just kind of had to run with it and use my experience, to from last year and just kind of take it with me. So I'm super excited about the preseason games this year. It's going to be awesome just to get out there and play a few games, and by the time week 1 comes and hopefully I'm here, it's I'm ready to go.
That the Eagles don't have another punter here. What does it say to you?
Look, I mean, it is a nice feeling. Don't get me wrong. Obviously the springtime here, I tried to put in as much effort as possible to feel good about myself and give them confidence in me coming into at least training camp. So if I just can continue that, then obviously things are looking pretty good. But same time as the NFL, things can change in the matter of minutes and stuff, and they could bring anyone at any time. So I need to make sure I'm executing my role.
What got you into the game?
Followed it at home a fair bit. It was super cool to watch there. Obviously, I was limited in terms of the games that I got to watch, but that was awesome to see. And other guys coming over here and doing it and seeing how well they did, I thought, well, why not give it a go?
Who's the OG over there?
The OG. Well, Darren Bennett probably started it all a long time ago. But obviously Sav was here for Philly for a bit, and I think Ben Graham kind of moved around a little bit too, Detroit and Arizona and that. But obviously there's a heavy presence these days in terms of 4 or 5 guys in there, and hopefully I'm another one added to the list.
Is there a reason why it's been such a transition from Australian rules to American football?
I mean, the technique's very similar in terms of the way we hold the ball. Like, it's in our hand the whole time, and that's the way we kick the Australian rules ball at home. So it just makes it a little bit easier to kind of come over here and be able to do that, hopefully every single time.
How good were you over there?
I was good enough to play, professional football over there. Would I have liked to have played longer? Absolutely. But it didn't happen. And I was good enough to be able to go there and, play 30 games there. And now I can hopefully use that experience as well and come in here and, again, execute and, being in a professional setting that I already have been, hopefully makes things a little bit easier.
And can you make a lucrative living?
You can, absolutely.
If you
do well enough over there, absolutely. If you can have that 10+ career or 8+ career, there is no doubt that's fine. If you're kind of a fringe player for the 4 or 5 years, not so much. But for me, it's just all about the experience, and that stuff can come later on in life.
And then the holding part of it, is that,
Yep.
Did you do that at Auburn also?
I did that at Auburn for a little bit, not as much as probably I would have liked, but to be honest, I've honed in on that as much as I can, because I know that's such an important role. I mean, in the end, we've got to put points on the board, and if I'm not doing my job there, then I don't have a job. So I've emphasised that so much, and I feel like Jake kind of trusts me, a fair bit now, and we've built such a good relationship in a short period of time that I'm really looking forward to it.
So 2 days in, how do you feel you performed?
I feel like I've done reasonably well. There's obviously room to improve, as there is for everything. I feel like I've had a solid couple of days, and even a couple of kickoffs here were pretty cool to do as well. So who knows? Maybe they might sneak in during the preseason too. I got no idea, but I'm just trying to add a few strings to my bow, really, and make sure that I feel confident in every single thing. So if anything kind of happens, I'm there.
Are you sleeping well at night?
At the moment, I am. I mean, I think I just kind of, back myself in with the work that I've put in previously to come out here and do my job and execute. I don't need to feel nervous if I'm knowing that I've put in the work. So if I haven't done that, then there's every reason to come out here and go, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'll put in the work to make sure that I'm ready to go.
What a great chance! All of a sudden, you're here,
Yep.
and things change quickly in life.
Absolutely. So, I mean, the whole experience, being the only guy here, having fans out here to go, I didn't have that last year either. It was literally just it felt like it was a college camp, to be honest. But having the fans out here and everything is super exciting, and it's all just about the next day. It's just about once I do my job here, then it's about the next game, going out there and doing it again.
And the fans aren't going to know who you are until...
That's right. And you know what? It's probably a good thing. We'll just keep it that way and make sure I, just go out there and do everything I possibly can. And when week 1 comes around, then hopefully the fans get around and we're good to go.
Awesome. Thanks, man. And that will do it for this episode of the Eagles Insider Podcast. Thank you all for joining. Thanks everyone who plays a part in this. And on our side, that includes Peter Kelly, who's producing it. That includes Julie McLaughlin, who's producing it, and Ray Doyle, who's one of our producers and promoters as well. So thanks to all of them for their work. Thanks to you for joining each and every episode. If you have an opportunity to drop us a little review, we love the 5 stars. Just click on the link in the details section of your podcast library. I'm Eagles Insider Dave Spadaro. We'll be back for more later in the week. And then I'm heading to Canton to celebrate Harold Carmichael's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Until we meet again, everyone, have yourselves a great Eagles day. And as always, fly, Eagles, fly.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Hi, Eagles fans. I'm Connor Barwin, and I'm here to tell you about the Eagles Autism Challenge presented by Lincoln Financial Group. This year's event will take place on Saturday, August 21st, and we can't wait to see all of you back at Lincoln Financial Field live and in person. Register today to walk, run, or ride. In addition to making a transformational impact on the autism community, you'll also receive a complimentary ticket to our public practice on Sunday, August 22nd. Register today at eaglesautismchallenge.org, and I'll see you there.